Welcome to Middle T and Hikes, and today we are at the Vesta Cedar Glades State Natural Area. Now this park, well, it's not a park, it's a natural area. It butts up against Cedars of Lebanon. It's on the other side of the highway from the main park of Cedars of Lebanon. And if you get back on the highway and go down to Vesta Road and then take Moccasin Road, it brings you right here to a little trailhead. Anyway, this one had mixed reviews in all the hiking apps, so that's always a curious thing to me because you never know what the other person's expecting, so you really don't know how to use that to gauge your hike. So I'm gonna show it to you right now. This trail starts off with some boulders in the way, and that's mainly due to the fact that they had a run-in with some ATV riders that tried to use this trail as an ATV trail, and that's a whole different ballpark of maintenance, and it just really tore up the walking trail. Now that was a while ago. They got the boulders in the way now, and they're really trying to keep this to foot traffic only. So the mileage for this is not included on the map of Cedars of Lebanon, but the trail is on the map. So maybe that's a typo, I don't know. But we're gonna check it out. It looks like a smaller loop with a shortcut through it. I usually equate that to a figure 8, but in this instance it's not quite that simple. It does shortcut across there, but it's not as cut and dry. Pay attention to your arrows. I walked right past the trail and didn't even know it. I'm gonna go the other way. That's actually what gained my attention. So I guess if you go straight, that's the shortcut. There's a cool sink right there. Well, this area does back up to Cedars of Lebanon, so you're gonna be seeing a lot of the same terrain. This is a cedar glade, so you're gonna see some of those sinks. You're gonna see rocky paths. And by rocky, it's usually easily walked upon. It's not rocky as in you gotta climb. You're gonna see a lot of these cedar trees, and it often breaks out into these clearings. And these cedar glades, they don't have a lot of topsoil, so drainage is a bit funny. And to read up about it, it sounds like they're either dry as a bone or sopping wet. So you kind of wind through an opening, and then you come into some trees. After a little bit, you're in the opening a while, but it does bring you back around to some trees. And right now, let's see, it's March. We got little flowers starting to pop up directly on the trail. I kind of feel bad walking through here. So far, this trail's been pretty pleasant, pretty easy going, relatively flat, easy to find. I can't really say anything bad about it. And these gnarly trees are just cool to look at, in my opinion. But here's a good example of how little dirt there is in this area. Well, I haven't seen a blaze marker in a while. They kind of swapped these little posts with arrows on it. And as you can see, this one says to go that way. I believe that that is the shortcut through the middle, because when you get to the side here, it says I can also go down that trail. It's springtime, so a lot of things are starting to sprout up, like this road sign is almost ripe for the picking. Wonder what road it'll go on. This is cool. It looks like moss, but and it may be, but it kind of has a sponge look to it. It's puffy and soft. So you're walking down this clear path, and abruptly there's an arrow that says to turn and go into the woods. And it's accompanied by a set of rules, same as the entrance, but here's a set in the middle of the woods. So my guess is, oh, yep, there's a sign right there. It says boundary. I saw another one of those down there. So evidently it's the edge of the state natural area, and they're directing you to go back into it. The trail does continue on, and judging by Google Maps, it doesn't show up on there, but the road's like right over there. So I wouldn't bother with it. Just stick to the trail and enjoy the trip. Come on. It is a sunny day, and it started raining on me. See? Sun, rain. See blue blaze markers again. Evidently they stick to kind of the front of the area, but there they are. Man, the trail is just mossy. It's like having a carpeted trail. Oh, a little bit of prickly pear cactus right there. We're getting to a spot in the trail where there's a whole lot of these little rocky areas where there's just no more dirt left. They're pretty good about putting arrows on signs. You see a little post there. They're pretty good about marking it. So just markers, walk over that end, and usually the trail's pretty visible. I hadn't run into a situation yet where I had to really hunt for it. Well, that brings us back to the main trail. I'm gonna sit down and have a little bit of water, and then I'll go down the middle, because I think I'm doing pretty good on time here. Well, now I'm gonna take the trail that goes right through the middle, the shortcut, if you will. It's definitely a lot wider and a lot nicer. It is still rocky, still a great deal of mud, and it's still the same environment. Let's see where it takes us. There is a sink right there. Might even go so far as to call it a cave. I cannot see the bottom of it. If you got little ones, just explain to them they need to stay on the trail, because that is right next to the trail. But that's the only one I've seen so far. All the rest, like that one over there, they have bottoms to them. So it's more of just a big dimple in the ground. Well, that took me right to where I thought it would take me. I remember this post where I said I was going to take the long way around. So this was definitely indeed the trail back, the shortcut back. I'm still working on finding out the mileage of this place. Well, this has been Middle T and Hikes. I hope you enjoyed this trail. Y'all get out, go hiking. Maybe I'll bump into you.